Hello, Earth. Welcome to episode 30 of season 3, if I'm correct, of Making Cell. And I was going to do a silent episode, but decided against it because I am almost falling asleep. So I figured that if I speak, I will actually remain awake, perhaps even energized. So let's give it a shot. Yeah. So we were. Where were we? We were redesigning everything. I had some because we went deep into basically redesigning the tests on cell.call, and then I wanted to have some fun and decompress with the database part of cell, and then actually that sent me back to the drawing board in terms of the implementation. So I actually wrote it down last episode, which was a couple of days ago. Yeah, this is the entire design. I was just looking at how cell respond will have to be modified, because the thing here is, how do you tackle all of this rewriting and maintain your energy? Actually, you have to be energized by the process itself. So I wonder if this time I just did more than I can chew in the short term. A good thing. So the test suite is running. I was wise enough to keep the old test suite there. Yeah. So these are all the old tests. They're still running fine with the improvements as well. So I have a fork here. Do I keep on going with the rewriting of the tests and, let's say, getting to the rock bottom of the language itself, or do I actually re-implement it so that I can store it in a database and have fast queries and have more the structure it should have? Yeah, it's a good question. Because the purpose is to get to something demoable, right? Yeah, and from something demoable to something usable. So would cell writing on disk being efficient be usable? I think it could be somewhat usable, yes. We will need to re-implement it. Um, yeah, it's a good question. Is it really that much work to do this? Maybe it's not that much work, I can just do it. Yeah. Maybe it's not such a big deal. Maybe I can do it in a few episodes. And this rework of cell respond, which is the one that's giving me the most pause, really, cell respond is still, yeah, because it just puts things straight and gets things straight, and it's like redoing the entire data space here. So I cannot just have that one. Because I'm doing it here get on the entire data set and then just iterating the entire data set, which is not something that I should be doing. Like these ones are like off the table if this is an efficient implementation. Yeah, I do all this because I don't have a dependency graph. If I had a dependency graph, I could know what happened and then just update things, right? Because cell respond gets called there on every single path. Yeah, it's super inefficient. Let me just change the song. This one is it. Yeah, this one. So I'm just reading. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come back to this later. I'm not ready for this yet. It just feels too much rewriting these calls right now. I'm talking about get, put, and respond. I would rather just go back to the tests, even solve the issue with the literal dashes, and really make that very solid. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to be able to put even like, I don't have much of an use of putting 20 megabytes of data if I don't have loops there yet, honestly. I need to start using this, using cell. To use cell, I need to basically go back all the way up, which is being able to upload files and being able to have loops. So I need to focus on making it usable first, and then we're going to add the better engine. We'll still keep the JavaScript engine on text files as well. It's going to be interesting to see that duality. That will be perfectly fine. In any case, the Lua calls are just going to write them in the JavaScript service instead of standalone Lua files. Yeah. So let's do that. As much as I want to have fun with engines, it feels like too much at this stage. I want to be able to run cell. And the current engine, although slow and based on text files, already works. Let's do the tests. We do cell call, allow for upload, implement loop, and then we can come back to having fun with engines. All right, let's do that. But this is really useful what I did. I am going to go on this direction when I come back. I'm quite sure. We have the dependencies, then cell respond doesn't have to be doing this all the time. Whenever change comes in, You can just track what changed and basically make those modifications and project them. And that's really it. Yeah, that's really it. So I need to start earlier. Oof. Yeah, okay. So let's just go back to the tests. So we have these tests and we have the other tests, which I think have to be uncommented. Yeah. Had this arcane thing. CT was text, I think, right? Literal text. Yeah. At least I could write them down. If I'm going to use arcane notation, I might as well document it. So we have this. Yeah, this is the tag. And then I'm just going to say test C is has a probably formatted call. Text CT has text that might or might not be proper for data for text. TextCL is a number of maybe CTL. I should do CTL as of text lines that together might or might not be proper for text. I have CL, right? If test CL test CT is test CL join, right? Yeah, that would work. Although, do I really need that? Yeah, I need it here. Did I have support for CL before? No, I just wrote the test. So if I do this now, and I uncomment this, yeah, okay. I would say here empty text. Indent out of place. Okay, better. Indent out of place on the second line. Yeah. Unescaped literal quote. Yeah, because wait. Yeah, because I'm making a call here. Yeah, yeah. So I'm screwed here because I want to test everything from the outside. So basically everything through cell.call. But cell.call right now doesn't allow you to send stuff that is not a call, like just one call. And this is just basically data. So I think we should be able to do that, and maybe I can just implement it and be done with it. Okay, let me just switch the record to just some 80s music would be good, yeah. Some Mice House, I guess, yeah. So yeah, we have the adding of the dialogue there. Maybe we'll just do this. Yeah, why the hell don't we do this? Right? You know what? I shouldn't even make it in temp call ID. I can just put it in temp. Over you. Just put it in temp. And then we will do this if of course efficiency doesn't matter, right? JES yeah, paths. I will just put the response here, yeah. Or I can just do something like because what I want to do is if it has a net, I'll just return the equal. Or what if it has an expansion? Yeah, what I can do is this. Just filter out any paths with at. That's how with at. Filter out paths starting with at since that's what came on the original call. And let's just see what happens. Will this work? How the hell is this gonna work? You gotta be crazy, baby. Yeah, so 43. Yeah, okay. It fails in 43. 1453. Okay, it's putting these paths. So it went through the put. Okay, that's good. So why is it failing on 43? Like, who's calling cell text to paths here? That's what I do not get. Why don't I do this? Baby. Ah, there's an undefined there. Who could be doing this? Okay, let's just put the song again because it's just too good. Well, this is quite some text here. A put before. Yep, maybe the test will give us a hint of where is this issue. Maybe it's these ones, right? Ah, look at those. I'm calling paths to text. Inputs with nulls, so maybe that's what it is. Yeah, could well be. No, but that one is done properly. I modify that one. Now maybe it's not that one. Let me just look at the new tests. No, it's still there. It still breaks. It's afterwards, right? It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So it's this nulls. So I'm calling path to text. Path to text doesn't touch cell.call. So why the hell should this be an issue? Maybe it doesn't. So we're looking at the first cell.call here. Yeah, it's this one, yeah. And by the way, we should I commented all this, but technically it should still pass, right? Although I'm testing it in new tests. Okay. This is something so silly. Perhaps you are watching this and you probably already figured it out. So I should put the video in 2x. So I don't get it. Who's calling this? Ah, I see when I convert it to JavaScript. Yes. Yeah, it's probably that, of course. Right? Maybe it's that one? No. No, I thought I was converting it to JavaScript here, but I'm not. Never mind. If I just do this, it still does that. If I do this, yeah, the whole thing is returning undefined. That's a problem. That's the issue. But how this returning undefined would affect the other one? Because cell call Yeah, that's what it is. I still don't understand. Is there a recursive call? No. No, this is going just fine. When I put it internally, I still don't get it. No, I don't get it. Why putting the stuff inside would do something there? Because this function responds with paths, right? I think this is an interesting rabbit hole. So how, what I'm returning here in cell call, yeah, how can cell call be calling I guess it's because I'm putting things right here. If I would be doing this, would I encounter this weird issue? Yeah. Nice, this respond function, silly. And here I'm calling path to text. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This one I'm putting it on the dialog. Oh, that's just stupid as that. Yeah, it's here. Of course it's there. That makes sense. This respond function here on top. But why? No, it doesn't make it that far, right? I'm an idiot. I had to do response. This is what I need to do, right? Yeah, that was easy. Come on. Okay. Look at this. Why is it like this? And I will do okay. Yeah, the put is completely screwed up. Good. Where's paths coming from? Is it because I'm changing the thing that I passed to cell? Yeah, it sounds like an issue with the No, this looks fine. It's perfectly correct. So what's the issue with this pudding? Why can't I put that? What's going on? I don't get it. So put takes all these ungodly parameters. It's 5. Yeah. Paths. Context path. Get, put, update dialog. Well, this should be false, really. So I don't need to update the dialog there. But it doesn't matter. Because I have a lot of tests where I'm putting calls. So this should not be an issue at all. Is it really like this? It's not like this, right? Oh, technically, yes, it should be exactly like that. You don't need to put numbers. Just pass a... Ah, yeah, because it's nested, right? Yeah. Yeah, silly, look at what you do here. Look at this. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I need to fix this to an older notation when I make this run in Internet Explorer 6. Because we will run cell in IE6. Let's put it here too, so it doesn't go unnoticed. A little accident. What am I doing? This. Yeah. Let me remove this back here. Why is it still not working? Yeah, this looks exactly right. I'm making a call to put, where P is who, and V is var. Maybe I never put a put in the data space. Yeah. Yeah, I think I never did, right? No, I just made it to the outermost part. I never put put in the data space yet. I mean, it should. Maybe I'm not handling in cell respond, right? In cell respond, I'm handling reference, but I'm not handling calls to put. Do I? But in any case, it shouldn't be that weird stuff here. Debug everything. Yeah, before there's nothing, I guess. Can I do something like this? Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe pretty's not doing what it should, because pretty is supposed to work for. Pretty's working on. What the hell is FTX? Vortex. It's Vortex City, so it won't work. If type FTX is an array, FTX is cell paths to text. FTX. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay. It was the logging function. It was actually fine. Although I didn't get an okay here, so that's not so fine. Yeah, because put is not resulting. It's not implemented. Yeah. Then there's not going to be any calls to cell put from cell respond. Yeah, only that one, but not the. Could do this. Value path 0 is put. I'll do cell put. And what would I pass? Cell put takes yeah, the paths, the context path. Yeah, I need to get all this stuff that goes below. This is a non-trivial refactoring because I don't really remember well how this function works. This is probably the hairiest function of them all. I think I have it annotated, right? Yeah. Music. Okay, let's go with a classic here. Perfect. When in doubt, synthwave. Yeah, let's just read this, right? That's why we wrote it. With that background, even better. Let's just read it from the top, silly. Yep. They were working with the two ads. Maybe there's one. We're considering the leftmost add-do as the first thing we want to expand. We want to avoid expanding. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. An interesting consequence here, or not consequence, but boom, boom, boom. Interesting that you could still have a reference on the left, but then there be a line on top of that reference that be an equal, and then to the right of that line path you could have another reference. So you can have references on the left, but we only work on them on the paths lines where they are resolved. Interesting that when we put add and equal at this in the same data space, moving up in space is like moving forward in time, because you see what comes afterwards. That's an interesting consequence. I mean, I think I was thinking about that before, but now I see it like quite plainly, like a shape in front of me, a physical shape, almost like a piece of furniture. Interesting. So we have the context path, the target path. Yeah. So you have a put, the one that put to behave like a do, or to behave like the other ones. I think I want to behave like a do, because I want all the stuff that you put, which could be more functions and more whatever, some more add-dos and whatnot. That's an interesting one, because the rest I'm looking from the right. And I need also this aggregation of a call here. Maybe we can just deal with it as a call, and we don't need to free stuff on the put. That's a very good question. Do I want things to be frozen on the put or not? So, do we want things to be frozen on the put or not? On add do, they are frozen, but on add put, would we want to resolve value, to put references in the values or even on the paths? Why not? Security shouldn't be an issue because it should be properly handled. So that only leaves practicality. If you put an add put with an add-do, the add-do will be frozen, so you can create calls from it. But if add-do does not freeze them, why freeze them arbitrarily in add-put? Just treat it like something normal, so we can just treat add-put like any other non-add-do do. This hints at do being the only freezing call. Ironic that the call to keep on going is the one that freezes references on the dataspace. It's very funny. It's almost like it's yin and yang. That was definitely not something I designed on purpose. I just now thought of it in terms of like sequences keep on keeping on, and then it's actually you're freezing with that do, which actually makes sense because you need to be able to carry the soup in your hands before you sit at the table and eat it, right? You cannot just eat the soup right away, wherever the soup is made. So yeah. What I learned from all of this, doesn't matter how tired I am or if I feel like skipping the session, I should never skip it, or almost ever, because look at all this stuff. This is good. Even though now everything's broken, it doesn't matter. I think this makes perfect sense. Well, to me, right now, it makes perfect sense. So the put just is a normal call. Yeah, that's nice. And there's less things to remember, and we need less things. Yeah, it should be like if, basically. But why in if I'm treating it differently? The add do logic, I do it here. No, I didn't get it. Yeah. Yeah, we go backwards here. Yeah. If I would really find the pure form of this, then I will have one. Well, we'll see how cell respond, I think. But then the cell respond tells you what to expand and what not to, and in what order. So respond is effectively our, well, not our parser. If it's not a parser, what is it then? Well, it's kind of a parser because it gives you precedence, right? What do you do first, what do you do next? But then I'll have one for if, which I do, it's very short, it's 10 lines, then one for do, which I want to rewrite and make it more elegant. And then, well, the one for reference is really cell respond, right? Cell respond is the one dealing with reference. And cell get to a certain extent. Yeah, so maybe we can just try this because I need to go. I still don't understand why I'm doing this with if here. Why am I treating if on the left without accumulating all of this? If I would do something like this, no, I need to accumulate the path. I'm gonna do it there. Yeah, I need some special logic for put. Okay, let's continue on the next session. Thank you for watching.